In this video we are going to see how to create color palette. You can see as I click on this button, the color is getting changed, and if I click on a particular color box, you will see the color will be copied, and if you want to paste it here, you can paste it. So you can see 19, this is the color we have copied. Let me copy this and paste it over here, and that's how we can copy the code. And if you want to refresh the color, you can click on this refresh. So this is the 73rd JavaScript project in our playlist. In case if you are interested in learning about the JavaScript, I would recommend you to go through this playlist. At present we are in episode number 73. Now if you want to learn from scratch, I would recommend you to start from 0 and reach till the level 73. Now here we have some advanced projects. I would recommend you to visit this link. I'll leave the link in the description so that you can follow along. Now again, one more thing, I'll be explaining the code line by line. In case if you got somewhere, if you got stuck somewhere, I'll leave the source code of this particular project in the description box. Download it and start along with me. So here we are going to learn some some of the tricks like in CSS. Like we will be using the active class. When I click on this, you will see. So this is happening because of the active element is added, and then we are going to see how to create random colors. On each clicking we are seeing some random colors, you can see. And then we are going to visit the padStart function. So it's an inbuilt function in JavaScript. We'll be using this, and then we will be using the copy functionality. If you see, if I click on copy, it will be copied over here. Now you can see these 5 6, these both are same. Now these are the things we are going to visit. Now let's work on the HTML first. So let me close this and let me get into the Visual Studio Code. Now I'll be creating a new file and I'm going to name it as index2.html. Since I'm going to paste all the 3 files, we'll be requiring 3 files for this. I'll be using the 3 files over here. So I'll be just giving the prefix 2, index2.html, style2.css, and script2.js. So this is going to be style sheet. So I'll be naming this as style2.css. You can name anything. So since I am in this same folder, I'm using the prefix 2. Now exclamatory tab. We need to link the link style2.css and script2.js. Now we will be requiring the unordered list with class container, and inside that we will be requiring UI will be with the class color, and then we will be requiring a div with class color box, and then a span tag. Span tag with some color code. Let's use white, mixture of all color. Now you just need to paste this some more time, and at the bottom we will be adding a button. So let's first work on the style sheet. So I'm going to use the font called Poppins. So let me call the font. So you can get this font from the Google font, and I have applied the Poppins to all elements. Star means all element, so I applied this. Now let me show you how does this page looks like. Refresh this, copy this, paste here, and we have named it at index2.html. So we are just able to see the text on the span tag. Now let's design this. For body, let's use the background color, and for list item we'll have the background color white. Cool. So inside the list item we have div. List item have div with class color code. I'm not going to use color class since we have only one div. We have only one unordered list, only one list item. I'll be directly accessing the HTML element instead of CSS class. So we'll be using width of 180 pixel, height of 185 pixel, background, let's make this #edeb. Now whatever is there inside the unordered list, I want it to be I want it to act as a row. So display flex Now it's acting as a now it's acting as a row. I want it to act as a column, so display flex and flex wrap. So let me add some more list item, so that we can get last two. Cool. And list item, you can see there is some space to the right, so justify content setter will work. And for all the list item, I want margin of 13 pixel on all sides. I think now we can remove these two, just taking more space. And you can see there is a dot over here, so you have to get into the list item, list style, none. That bullet will be removed, and whatever is there inside the list item, I want it to be act as a text align center. And for the span tag, which has text, let's have the font size of 1.1 rem and font weight of 600 pixel. Now you got this. Actually the Xcode will be of 6 character long. Everything seems alright. Now we can have border radius 5 pixel on the list item as well as on the color box. That's cool. Now when I click on this, so how we are going to do? So list item colon active. So when I click on it, I want the not scale to be 0.9. So let me just try. So you can see there's a quick jerk. We don't want quick jerk, so transition 0.5 s 5 millisecond. So that's a. Now whenever I hover on this, I want the pointer to be cursor. You can see it's working. Now everything seems alright. Now let's add the button refresh. I'm not going to design very much, because we are going to focus on JavaScript, not on CSS. So padding, top bottom, left right, outline none, and border none, and get the body, whatever is there, I want it to be at the center, display flex. So now you can see side by side would be there. The UL will be one side and the button on the other side. So to make this one below the other, so we need to make flex direction column, and we can give display block, so that we can give width to it. And whatever is there, it need to be the center, so justify content center, align item center. Let's add a margin to it. The same, copy paste the font and weight, font size and font weight. And when I hover on this, I want filter brightness 105%, and cursor pointer the same way. Let me add this to this hover as well. On list item hover, I want, when I hover it, I want the div to change the brightness. So I can see the brightness is changed when I hover on the list item. So we have completed the active phase. Cool. And This is also complete. Now let's focus on the random generation of color. First thing, we need to get the container, document.getElement, document query selector. We'll get the button hyphen element, and then the container. You can directly call ul element. So what we need to do is we need to comment everything. Let's just play with only one for now. Get the console open. Now when I click on the button dot add event listener, just click, and I want to call the function called generate code, and let's define this function. So when I click on this, I want to create a random number, so hex value underscore random x value Math.floor. You know how to generate a random number. Math dot random, and this random number need to be below f0x. So this is the pure white. See, x value starts from 000 and ends on this number. Ends on this number, and I need to convert to hex. So toString, and for hexadecimal it is 16. We need to pass this. Now this will be purely hexadecimal. Now we can access this console.log. Now you will see the hexadecimal value on each click of the button. You can see, but for some time you will see the number will be less than 6. So we want exact 6 value. So to do that, so we'll be using the function called padStart, and the number should be, the length of the number should be 6, and in place of the number which is 0, which is none, we need to add 0 to it. So now if I refresh this, you will not see the number less than 6, and we have completed this as well. So each time on each click you will see the number will not be less than 6. So we got this as well. So let's store this hex value. Now we need to create a list item. So document dot create element, and the element is going to be list item, and we'll name this as color. So the list item we are going to create is this one, list item with class color. And now let's add the color class color. So this is li dot class list dot add color, and then inside the color we would be having this. So color dot inner HTML equal to, use the backtick which is just below the escape key, and paste the code. Now pass the value, the hex code value $, and here as well style equal to background color colon hash, and then pass the hex value. Don't forget to use the $. And once this is done, we need to call the unordered list and append this dot inner HTML equal to this one, color. Refresh this, refresh. We're not getting it, let me see why. So instead of inner HTML, let's try append. So you can see it's working. Each time we are getting random value, and the color is also getting appended. So how many numbers we need? 1 2 3 4 5 6 12. So we need to run a for loop variable I equal to 0, I is less than 13, I plus plus. Now we need the for loop to run each time and do the same thing. Let's try refreshing this. Refresh. So let me remove this also. Let me comment this as well. Now if I click on refresh, we are getting more. So let me make this 12 because it's starting from 0, not 1. Cool. Now this function need to be called on page refresh as well. On page refreshing, got this. On page refresh, on each page refresh you are getting different value. So that's cool. Now if I click on refresh, it is getting appended. We don't want this to happen. So call the unordered list and dot inner HTML equal, it should be blank. Now refresh this, append. So this is what we need. We are getting as we want. On clicking also you can see it is having the same CSS effect. And one more thing, here it should be if six values, 5 values. So that's the reason we are only getting the red and green. Now you will see the mixture of colors. If you think the red on the body is too much, you can just anytime go here and just change the color. Save this, refresh it, and you can change the color of the button as well. Background red, let this be a little orangish. Cool. Now you can see we're getting as we need. Now we have completed this. Now on clicking the box copy, so when I click on this I need the color to be copied, so it's very simple. So we need to add, so here we need to add a event listener. Let me close this. Just below the appending, get the color which is actually the list item, dot add event listener, which is going to be click. And since we are going to have only one line, we don't need to have this curly bracket. We can directly write copy code, and we need to pass the element which we have clicked. So now we can make this console.log. We'll pass the target. Now refresh this. Let me get into the console. So when I click on the list item, you're getting the event. So with the help of the event, there would be the property called target somewhere here. So dot target, click on this, you will be getting the li. So actually not li, but the box which you have clicked, either the box. So we need parent element. So when I click on this box, you will getting the list item. Again click on the box, you will get the list item. So this is actually the li element. So once we get the li element, we can use the query selector to access it. Dot query selector, we need span. So li element underscore span, and with this dot inner text, you can get the color code. Let me copy paste it. Console.log. First time we will be getting the span tag, and the second time we will be getting the color code. On clicking on the box, span tag and color code. So that's what we need. Now we'll be using the navigator field dot then. So again it's a function. So what we need to copy? We need to copy the color code which we accessed it. Copy the color code and then on the span tag. So which gives span tag? This is a span tag. Span tag dot inner text. It need to be written as copied. Refresh this. Click on any box. It should say copied, and the copied color is this one. Again, let me try this. So copied color is this one, and when I paste it, it should be copied. So let me copy this D E to E. So let me paste this D E to E. So the copy function is working. Now after the copy function, this text need to be changed to the text code. So we'll be using the settimeout function. On 1 second, it should get converted to, it should say copied. After 1 second, it should get converted to the color code. Let's try. Click on this. After 1 second, click on this. After 1 second, it should get. So I believe the scope of this video is done. Click on refresh, whichever you like. So I'll be picking this color 370A. Click on this. It is copied. Let me paste here 370. So let me choose another. So let me put C65. Paste it here, C65. So this is copied. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening. Meet you in the next tutorial.